How many of you remember the moment you first got saved? Remember how loud you were about it, how excited, and all your conversations included him in some way, and maybe people said mean things to you, but it didn't faze you. And you were really excited about it, and you couldn't wait to pray, couldn't wait to get in the Word, couldn't wait to get to church. Not only Sunday church, but Friday night prayer. I mean, anytime the doors were open, man, I can't wait. And then you lost your coin. And you didn't realize you lost it because you kept doing the church stuff. There's some burnout people on this Valentine's Day because you have let the world choke out the Word of God in your heart. Well, it says in the book of Mark, the things that grow up around you choke the Word of the Lord out of you and cause you to be fruitless. Can I tell you, you cannot be fruitful if you're just doing it out of duty. Fruitful people move and are motivated by their desire and their passion. You'll see real awakening in your home, in your family, in your schools when you too walk with passion. And Jesus is more than the Bible verse in your description on social media. You shared a Jesus post on Facebook. Great. Wonderful. Congratulations. That's not bad. Where's your passion to walk across the street? When she loses the silver coin, does she not light something and search carefully and sweep her house? Notice that when she realized, some of you have realized just in this short time tonight, you've lost your covenant. You still have your church schedule, but you've lost your fire. You've lost your covenant. And when she realized she lost it, she did two things. She lit a match and she got the broom out. She cleaned out all the garbage. She searched diligently until she found that which was lost. Are y'all still here? Some of you think this story was about simply her losing her coin and she's excited she got it back. Can I tell you the coin was deeper than that? This is why, should I go here? This is hard. This is why when COVID first happened and you had 8 weeks of no church, or however many weeks you had to not come here. This is why when you came back to in-person services, 3/4 of the people didn't come back with you. Because they loved church, they loved the music, they loved the people, and when they lost that stuff, since their love for God was void, they just found another hobby. Can I just say it? Can I just say it the way it is? There are people in church that are not passionate about Jesus. They're passionate about church. And when COVID came, Jesus was saying, during this season, we're going to find out who loved me. Who loved me? Who loved this? Because people who only loved the church experience found another hobby. Because Jesus wasn't their primary. Oh, that preached. Well, he wasn't their primary. He was just the common ground for gathering. It's awful quiet in this room. They thought they were going to get a happy, shouty, he loves us. He loves you, we know that, but do you love him? Or are you just knowing him by head knowledge? Could this be the night that your lamp is lit again? Or will you leave the same way you walked in? There's your fork in the road. You want revival, it doesn't start with a few services in a row. It starts in here. You know what revival is? Revival is not extended services. Revival is when you make Jesus important to you again. And it's more than a Sunday, Wednesday emotional experience where you get goosebumps and nice lights and good music and good preaching. Revival is when you begin to hear His voice even at your work desk. Revival is when you begin to say, you know what, my marriage is busted up, but God put it here and I got to do everything to get my covenant back. I preach this right here. Revival is when you say, everything in me that conflicts with my ability to follow the Spirit, it's got to go. And this is why the church doesn't like revival. Because it's in your face. Maybe you thought revival was that thing where we play loud music and make loud noises and roll on the floor and talk like turkeys. And there are places for that, and it's fun. But revival is a confrontational thing. Revival's messy. Revival gets in your face and says, hey, that stuff in there, it's got to go. Hey, that music you put between your ears when you're not in this building, get rid of it. Hey, those things you're putting in front of your eyes, the gateway to your heart, get it away. Revival is a fork in the road. That's what it is. Revival is a fork in the road where you say, am I going to go the broad way that many people go, or am I going to go the narrow way that's very small? Few there be that find it. Revival is not exciting services. There's an element of that. But revival is when you decide to take the road less traveled. Many people have too much pride to go the narrow road. Because the narrow road it's very hard for you to do what you want to do. Can I preach? Y'all okay? I'm almost done. Revival's narrow. It's messy. Have you ever tried to move into a house and move other stuff out? It's messy. You pull stuff down and sweep and all these things. Before the house is clean, it's first messy. And when you first start sweeping, what do? You kick a bunch of dust up. Oh, that's revival, cleaning house. Where are my people that clean? Y'all know this. Before your house looks prim and proper, it's first messy. And you kick the dust up. But then the end result. That's why some of you are burnt out, because you've lost sight of the end. Oh, I'll close it right here, I think. Some of you have got so focused on what's here and now in this moment, the hopelessness. It'll never go back to normal. It'll always be this way. It'll always be addicted. The reason you think it'll always be addicted is because you're looking at it in its present moment and you're not speaking things that are not as though they already were. You have lost sight of the finish line. Hello. And it's burnt you out. Because you've lost sight of the line, the finish line. When I ran track in high school, I almost liked it better than football. I loved track. And when I ran, they said, I was a sprinter, and they said, Nick, you cannot look side to side. I don't know if any runners know that rule. That's just like this unwritten rule that while you're running, you can't look at your opponents. In other words, you can't keep your eyes on the enemy all day. Because it causes you to lose sight of the finish line. The finish line. And so when I was running, my coach was very adamant about, Nick, you've got to watch the finish line. So can I tell you a story? Because this is many of you, and I'm going to close right here. Are y'all still here? If you're still here, shout yes. A lot of them are still here. So I, as my senior year, I'm running in the semifinals of the regional semifinals, running 200-meter dash, and we're running and we're running and we're running. Now, I had to get first or second to move on. Y'all with me? I'm running. I'm hauling it, and I'm in first. And I'm like, man, this is a great race. I'm having a good time until I broke the one unwritten rule. I wanted to see where my opponents were. Because I thought I was so ahead. What does it say about the man who thinks he's... And I'm running, and here I go. Can I tell you what happened? I'm this close to the finish line. I get right here. I fell over the finish line. I rolled into second. I lost the race. I moved on to the next one because you had to get first or second, and I won that one. I didn't make the same mistake twice. But I got so focused on my opponents because while you're running a sprint, you have to look straight, because if you start looking, you'll mess your balance up. And some of you started this race so well, chasing after the Lord. Chasing at what is the finish line? The day you meet Him. That's what it is. Paul talked about it, crossing the line. And he said, I don't look at anything else except the day when I meet my King. When I cross this line from the natural to the spirit. I don't know about you, but I don't want to fall over it. And some of you started out real nice and you're running, and then COVID happened. You're running real nice, and then a family tragedy. You're running real nice, and then all these enemies that maybe you didn't even ask for. Oh, I can hear it. Some of it, I didn't ask for that. I don't think any of us ask for all the trouble we get. Some of the trouble you get, you ask for. It's self-invited or uninvited. Sometimes it's not the devil, it's you. I've lived this, I know. Sometimes it's not the enemy, sometimes it's your inner me. So I'm running. Y'all good? And you, right now, are laying on the track. And the Lord is saying, it's time to get back up. Your race is not over. Because if it was over, you'd be dead. It's time to get up. It's time to get up. You've lost sight of the line. You have left your first love. You still know the word. You still know what to do. You know the church rituals. You know how to clap when the pastor says clap. You sing the songs, not because they're in your heart, but because they're on the screen. I'm talking to you on this Valentine's Day that it's time to return to your first love.